Hiya folks, happy Easter, happy Passover. It is Antar1011 and I am back with a new black and white battle. My opponent today is peter7777771. I think that was the right number of sevens. But anyway, guy who PM'd me through YouTube, and that's how I prefer to receive my challenges. It's just a lot easier for me to set up than having to go on to Abra's Asylum, which no longer exists, by the way. But anyway, without further ado, let's get to the battle. He leads off with an Aggron, which you don't really see around too often in this metagame, or the last generation for that matter. But Aggron is a really kind of awesome Pokemon, really bulky, definitely gives Steelix a run for its money, but it is slow, so I'm able to put it to sleep with my Roserade, and that's going to allow me to set up without fear of retaliation. So he's going to pull back his Spike knowing that I'm going to set up, and knowing that he doesn't want to just waste several turns of sleep. So as he switches into his Swanna, another Pokemon who, again, you don't really see around in the metagame too often, so I get off my first round of Toxic Spikes, his Swanna flies up high, and I was really surprised by that. You really don't see Fly too often because it's such a predictable move. While I set up my second layer of Toxic Spikes, I'm now able to switch out into a Pokemon that will resist that Fly. So I go ahead and send out Pazuzu, who is electric and flying type, which means it 2x resists flying type moves, and it's also a physical wall, so Fly should do absolutely nothing. It does more than I was expecting, and I was like, what the heck? And the reason was it was a crit. So even with a crit, it didn't really do that much. So yeah, Fly is not that great of a move to be locked into. And, yeah, sorry, I didn't mean locked into. Anyway, Fly is not necessarily the best move because, it's so predictable. Anyway, he switches out into his Zeus, which is his electric Pokemon. He was obviously expecting me to do Thunderbolt or something, but instead I predicted that and went for Hidden Power. It's Hidden Power Grass, just so you know. I could also have used Heat Wave, but Heat Wave has less than ideal accuracy. I just figured, what the heck. So on this next turn, he's faster than me, and gets off a nice Flamethrower, which is going to Charbroil my Pazuzu, my Zapdos fairly well, and I'm down to about 50% HP, but I'm going to go ahead and hit back with Heat Wave, and considering how much damage Hidden Power Grass did, which has 30 less base power, that's an easy KO for me. And so Pazuzu is going to leftovers away some damage, and it's all good in the hood. Anyway, next out for him is his Emboar. Kudos for using Emboar. I love Emboar. It's got an air balloon, which is interesting. Interesting choice of item. I definitely go for leftovers because you're going to want as much HP recovery on that thing as you can. But anyway, I predict a fire-type move or a rock-type move or something like that. And so I switch into my Jellicent, named Ringo. And it takes that Flare Blitz pretty well, and a bit of hacks. I get a Cursed Body up on him, but it's not like he was going to use Flare Blitz again. I already know he's not choice because he has the Air Balloon, but that is what it is. So he's going to go ahead and go for the Wild Charge. My Emboar doesn't have Wild Charge, but it is a really good move to have on a Fire type, specifically to take on Grass types. I think I'm actually going to, when I rebreed my Emboar, I'm going to put Wild Charge on it, I think. I really can't wait until the Dream World one is released, which has Reckless, which boosts the power of all moves that deal recoil, and that'll just be awesome. It'll just be awesome. But so anyway, I managed to take it out with a Surf. I didn't want to overpredict here, and so I've taken down his Emboar. For those who say that Emboar really isn't competitive in this metagame, I don't disagree. I mean, I'm still going to use it on my team because I really like it, and I think that used properly it can really sweep, although I haven't had that happen yet for me. But I'm convinced that it's possible, and I like it. What can I say? So anyway, he sends out his Poison Bug type, and I switch in my Uchikoma, my Metagross, predicting a Poison type move. Instead, he goes for the Bug Bite, which is going to deal neutral damage and is going to pop my Air Balloon. But anyway, seeing my Uchikoma out there, he's going to pull back and send out his Swanna. And I'm going to go ahead and use Earthquake, not predicting that move. Earthquake turns out actually was a bad move because his Scolipede is half bug type. I forgot about that half bug. I also forgot about his poison type when I was setting up my Toxic Spikes, so I wasted all those turns setting up Toxic Spikes only for him to blow them all away. Anyway, I sent out Mick here to just tank those flies, it's not gonna be hurting from that. Mick has awesome defenses even before Curse, and yeah, I just wasn't fearing. So anyway, I hit him with a payback. Does a lot of damage. He's forced to switch into his Aggron, and for a second I decide to stay in. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and use Curse here because I was predicting a switch, and so I decide, yeah, so getting some attack boost, blah blah blah, a little bit of time to kill here. Yeah, so he's sleeping, and I go ahead and go for the payback, which I was just seeing how much it did. I know it's 2x resisted, but I was hoping that maybe it would do a little more. Not the case, and he's got a Rocky helmet, so I'm gonna have to switch out. I've got no choice here. So I call him back and send out my Uchikoma, and here I make some very serious misplays. He's still asleep. And I'm going to go ahead and use Ice Punch because I was predicting him to switch out. But it does him no good to switch out because the sleep counter resets every time you switch out. So it was really a good idea to stay in. So he stays in, uses Earthquake, which is going to be super effective since my air balloon is popped. And I'm just hoping it doesn't take me out. But of course it does, because Aggron does have pretty darn good attack. Even though Metagross does have pretty good defenses. So anyway, next up for me is my Lila, my Darmanitan, and I'm going to go ahead and use Earthquake here for the 2x effective hit, or sorry, no, 4x effective hit, and I was worried that based on Aggron's defenses that it might survive, but it doesn't, thanks to the fact that it is a 4x weakness. So I managed to take down his Aggron, and I take some recoil thanks to my Life Orb. But anyway, next up for him is his Swanna. And I'm thinking I can probably take it out because I should be faster, but oh no, he's Choice Scarf. So that Surf is going to be enough to KO, I believe. Yeah, that's definitely enough to KO. And so my Darmanitan's down. So I've been going through the battle subway using this team, using Metagross in the lead spot, Zapdos, and Darmanitan as my other two. And so far on the Super Singles, I've gotten up to 21 wins without much trying. It's a pretty good combination. Anyway, so I go ahead and use Roost with my Zapdos here, predicting the switch. And so now I'm considering, well, should I switch or what should I do? And then that's when I look up more about the Scolipede, and I realize, oh wait, it's part bug type. That was silly of me. So I can go for a super effective Heat Wave, and it should be enough to kill it. Anyway, he Poison Jabs me. It does a lot of damage, and it gets the Poison Hacks, which is less than ideal, but I'm really hoping that this Heat Wave is going to be enough to take it out. So, boom, there goes the Heat Wave, and it goes, and ... Yeah, that's enough to take it out. So I've taken out his Scolipede, and I believe at this point he's down to 2 Pokemon, and that is Swanna and Zoroark, who I haven't yet seen. You know, it could have been any of these Pokemon. Any of these Pokemon could have been Zoroark. But you know, now I don't know. Is this Swanna? Is it Zoroark? It uses Flamethrower. Pretty sure it's Zoroark. Either way, I'm gonna go ahead and Thunderbolt him because either way it's gonna hurt. Either it's going to be 4x effective, or it's going to be the best attacking move that I can do with my Zapdos. So it gets him down to almost no HP. I was really expecting it to kill, and I thought maybe it was a Focus Sash, but it wasn't. He just survived with like 2 HP, and you know, that's how this game goes. But yeah, so I'm poisoned, and I'm not sure how much more I can survive. He goes ahead and goes for the Shadow Ball here. Really, I guess he was predicting my switch into Jellicent here, but I don't switch, and so I go ahead and Thunderbolt him again, and that is going to take him out. It's also going to take me out, unfortunately, because I'm down to 10 HP and I am poisoned. But, you know, now he's down to his last Pokemon, and it's Swanna. I mean, I'm not really afraid of Swanna here, although maybe I should be, I don't know. So Zapdos goes down, and I have to, my only choice now is who do I send out as my last Pokemon. So he sends out Swanna, as I said, and I go ahead and send in my Mick, my Umbreon, because I think it can take pretty much anything that this guy dishes out. I make a mistake here. As he goes for the Hurricane, I'm going to go ahead and go for the Curse. I didn't think he was running the Hurricane, and I was thinking he was going to go for the Fly, and I just figured get my defenses up. But really, that was a huge mistake, especially since a payback, you know, there's no way I wouldn't have outsped him. Oh, well, I was predicting the Fly, so a payback would have been wasted. Yeah, I really wasn't expecting him to run Hurricane, and looking at how much damage that does, I really think it's going to KO me. Luckily, Hurricane has awful accuracy, misses on the second turn, and I get off a payback to win the game. So, Peter, hope you're watching this. It was an excellent battle. Challenge me again anytime. Everyone else, comment, rate, subscribe, challenge, and check out my channel. So long, folks. Keep it real.